Hello and welcome to Channel Sport on Sunday. I'm Ken Ochonogo. The league, yes, the league and the leagues. But let's charity start from abroad. We're starting from what we transpired yesterday, right there in England. Because we are now looking at halfway in the EPL and the jungle is maturing. The Gunners are up there, 5 points, ahead of any other team, and they take on Tottenham today. If they win that game, it will be additional 3 points. I put them 8 points cushion at the top. And we were saying, will they drop 8 points at the other half of the league? But yesterday at Old Trafford, Manchester United came back from a goal down. Difficult decision, having been mauled 6-3 in the first leg it had, to pick that particular victory and then put themselves as contenders, to the league diadem come May 2023. So a lot of other matches did take place, right there in England. We shall look at them, each and every one of them. We shall look at what is happening, at Brighton. They lost their manager, they sold one of their best defender, and then they are getting stronger and stronger. So what will happen to them if they enter into Europe? But the team that actually bought their manager overpaid compensation, for Potter, is not doing well. Potter is not doing well. The team he left behind is doing well. What an irony. And that is what we look at and said, how do you move from a team with less talented footballers, less quality, footballers to another team, and then the team you left is doing better until you got into. Of course, you don't forget that Potter and his team are actually facing some injury challenges. So that is for you Chelsea fans. Before you say Potter out, look at how many of your players are being attended to in the injury table. How many of them are there and how soon will they return? So that will take us to another story, the hijacking of the hijackers. In fact, after this hijacking by Chelsea, a lot of other stories of how players have been hijacked in the EPL. Probably we'll have the time. We'll discuss them today. But somebody was heading somewhere. Manchester United and Arsenal thought they had, a grip on your Felix. And then before you knew it, wow. The man is already doing his medicals and, scheduled to, not only that, he played 24 hours later for Chelsea. But Chelsea didn't stop at that. And they are, they are in there because they're taking Mikhailo Mudryk. Everything has been said. The man's heart, his soul, everything has been about the Gunners. But right then, as we speak, it's like the man is also heading right there to Stamford Bridge. I mean, what are the intrigues that are involved when you sign players? We'll look at the EPL. We'll go over there and look at what is happening at La Liga. It has always been a two-horse race in the past decade. It is either Barcelona or Real Madrid, and this time they're head-to-head. Who is going to nick it? What is happening? We'll move there and we'll go to Italy, the Serie A, because just a few leagues are on now. Others will still resume from the winter break. And the Nigerians are doing it there, not just atop the league, but atop the scorers chart. So we shall look at what is happening in the Serie A and see how one man is becoming victorious right there in Naples, where Maradona did ply his trade, and saying after 30 to 33 years of Maradona, will they sing that El Dorado is here, that the title is back? They call him the Max Tuan. Yes, that is who he is. But right now, he is shooting, he is nodding, and everything he touches turns to goal. Right there, atop the Liga's chart in Serie A is Nigerian's Victor Osimhen. We shall look at those who are trailing him, who says, yes, can you get the Scudetto and can you take the title along with it? And that is what we are seeing. All these are all there because in less than 24 hours time, yes, the Australia is ahead of us about 8-12 hours. I'm not too sure here. So by the time we are waking up tomorrow morning, they will start knocking the ball right there in tennis court. It will be the first big one, the first Grand Slam of the year. And the Aussies is where it starts. This year's Australian Open is, the world number one will not be there because the Australian Open have been doing this with at least other Wimbledon, and the US Open have also joined, where formerly Wimbledon will tell you that, when they do their seeding, it is those persons with a pedigree, those who did well in grass court, those who did in past Wimbledon, are seated ahead of those who are in the rankings, the current ranking. But then, since Australia Open up, Australia will just take the ranking and say, look, if you are number one in the ranking, you are a top seed. The US Open also does that, and right now, I think Wimbledon also follows suit, but that is what it is. But the man who is supposed to top the ranking is not playing in the Australian Open, and that is the young man Carlos Alcaraz. So it's now the defending champion who is going to go in there as number one. Rafa going for number 23. But then the bigger story is the man who was not allowed to play last season, the man who was escorted out of Australia because he said, I don't need the jab. I don't want to be immunized. I don't need it. I don't need the COVID thing in my system. I am naturally immune. And that was what happened. After the intrigues, he was allowed in. But then they went to court and the jury said, no, according to our laws, it was becoming political. You are not supposed to be here. And he was escorted out of Australia. But he's back there. And then against all odds, he played and beat Medvedev to win the pre-tournament event that he just took part in, and then the welcoming, the euphoria, the happiness, the joy, the praises, the everything. He joins. I tell you this: there is no man who enjoys more adulation than the one we call the Joker, Djokovic, and that is what is happening. But then, will he get his own number 22? Because right there, it used to be 20, 20, 20. Now have 22, 21, 20. The man with number 20 has retired and said, Roger says, I can't, take all this. And then, with 9 titles, you can't beat that. To tell you those who are behind him, there is no 8, there is no 7. The man has 9 in his kitty. He's the most successful player in Australia. And this time he's saying, not only am I pursuing Rafa Nadal, I'm also, extending my record of how many wins I have in the Australian Open. That is total dominance. We shall also look at the home scene. I want to talk, we will talk about the NPFL. This now our own. There are a lot of things we need to do that we are changing. We've been carrying the league, but this season we want to pay more attention because I think the need leagues us. It needs all the attention it can get, all the support we can give to the Nigerian Premier League, and that is what we are going to do. We'll concentrate on this. It's going to be an abridged league. Instead of 38 matches that we said last week, they are going to play 18 matches each before they go for the Super 6. So our attention will be here to see how we can, ask the fans to go back to the pitch, how we can have more confidence on what we are doing here, and how we believe that this can be a cash cow, that if well handled, in this age that we are, our football can rival oil, earning those dollars, those much needed foreign exchange, for us, and maybe, make sure the value of the Naira appreciates against other currencies. But we want to start with the EPL. I want to start with EPL before our guys join us on the show today. Let us look at the results of those games that were played, and let's see how it is, the table. Because they say the table never lies. What you see in the table is a reflection of what has been happening on the pitch. Controversies. But let's take the results of the EPL and let's start from there. Okay. That is the English Premier League results for yesterday, Saturday. And you can see the big one. That started, I think, just a little after midday yesterday. It was Manchester United 2-1 Manchester City. City actually went ahead in that game because it was a barren first half. In the second half, they resumed and scored that beautiful header by Grealish. The £100 million man came in from the bench and scored the opener, and that was it. After then, we saw the controversy. Was Marcus Rashford was interfering with play when that pass was given to him. They say he didn't touch it, he guided it. In guiding it, did he in any way distract the goalkeeper or also kind of prevented the other defender from coming to the ball before he allowed his captain of the day, Bruno Fernandes, to make hay? So this is what the controversy has been all about. But then they went on to score that goal. The linesman said it was an offside because he thought Marcus Rashford was interfering with play. But then after discussing with the referee, and then they checked the VAR, and they want to check, the man said the goal has to stand. And it stood, and that was the equalizer. And a few minutes later, I think less than 3 minutes, about 3 minutes and a few seconds, there was a stunner by the same Marcus Rashford, who has impeded the other one, who was the center of the controversy. He did score that, and then yes, United came, Old Trafford came alive with all the fans jubilating, and that was how it ended. But you can understand this. We're still Ten Hag there, but the man says, I don't agree with whatever happened. Pep was fuming, and I think he has every right to say, look, let us hear Pep and see what he said on this.
Rashford is in offside, Bruno Fernandes is not offside. The question is intervene or not intervene in the action. When one player for 80-yard box shoot and one player is in front of the keeper, no touch the ball, intervene or not intervene is disallowed all the time because there. So the situation is, the decision is of course the referees, the VAR is offside or not offside. 10 to 10 is offside. When that intervene, the referee said intervene. Here he decide no intervene in this stadium. It's okay. What they have to do? We are going to make a complaint to them. No. So congratulations. That sometimes happen in our side, sometimes there. The decision is they didn't believe Rashford was intervening in this action when this happened. So we perform in our best. We miss a little bit up front, the quality, the brilliant for the players, but sometimes it happens. That is not a problem. The problem is no behavior like we were a few days ago in Southampton. Today was completely different like we are. And yeah, congratulate United for the victory.
He congratulates United, but he said, was this man interfering with play? But let's hear Erik ten Hag, the Manchester United manager, and his opinion on this. Of course, we know what he's going. We likely think of what he's going to say. But let's hear him say what is in his mind.
The fans may dream, but we not. We have to keep our feet on the ground and then face that in our game has a lot to improve. And still a lot to improve. It can't happen that after halftime we're losing so much control in the game, for instance, and then getting down is unnecessary. When we do the right things, when we follow the right rules, when we step up from the back in an earlier moment, we can control such moment and doing the same as the first half. But yeah, that's also top football. Small details has a big impact, and we have to keep working on that and keep investing in that.
We have to keep working on that. We have to keep investing on that. And even the captain for the day, Bruno Fernandes, was also interviewed and said, we are playing as a team now. Last year, some people were not playing, some were playing for themselves, and others were playing for the team. But like we have a united house now, and that is why we are getting the result we are getting. It is hot there. Let's see, let's hope if that momentum will continue. But every man is seeking that diadem. Everybody wants to be at the top. There is a team at the top, and when you are at the top, you are the target. And that team is the Gunners, which is Arsenal. Before we talk about Arsenal, we will also talk about Chelsea. Before yesterday, they played Fulham and lost that game. If you can see those, see those results again, because Liverpool also played yesterday, and we don't know what the problem is, and that is it. Brighton beating Liverpool by 3-0. That is something we don't understand. The same team, probably a few, one or two players that left in Mane, one or two injuries, and Liverpool has not been the Liverpool that we know about. The Salahs are still there. The Firminos are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. The defense is all there. Conceding 3 goals against Brighton. signing is something that Jurgen Klopp said, this is the worst I have I've gone through in the 7 years that I've been here at Anfield. It tells a lot. I don't know if they can come out of this. Will they be struggling to play in Europe? Not just Champions League is looking out of place, not too much for now, because we still have about 19, 20 games to go. But then if you have about 20 games to go, a lot can still happen within that period. They also hijacked another, we don't want about the signing, you will see what we'll talk about here, about the hijacking that have been going on in the EPL. So that is the EPL for now. Let's come back home. Because today, we're talking, like I said, we're talking the EPL. We'll go to Kaduna first. We'll go to Kaduna first and meet the king of the north. And let's see what Maurice has to say. 2 games played, 2 away victories. Maurice, are you there? NPFL. Do we have Maurice?
And it's nice to be on the program once again. And let me use this opportunity to actually tell you Happy New Year to you and the crew, both the production and everybody in the studio. Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy New Year, Maurice. Maurice is joining us from Kaduna. Mohammed Suleiman, the man that tells, the last time he came here, they were trying to pressure me that I can't do something. Why should I do that for Maurice? Maurice shoots from the hips. So just leave that one between me and him. Let's see if we can also say hi. Let us go to Benin. If the Ibrahim is ready. Ibro. That is Mohammed Ibrahim. How are you, Ibrahim? Are you there? He's in Benin, not Port Harcourt. Okay, we're still going to get ready with him. Let's say we're just trying to set up with Ibro. When it's ready, he will join. We'll pick it up. Ibrahim, are you ready? It's not. Okay, let's go back to Kaduna until Ibro joins us. Moise, how? Okay, is Ibro with us? Okay, let's go with Maurice. Ibro will join us soon. Maurice, let's kick this off. Two matches, two games played, 2 away wins, 100% away. Of course, the first week 1 is still on, but then what trend are we seeing?
I think it has always been like this for a while. The start of the season, I always had this surprises. There's a meeting around among the NPFL club owners and even the players. They will tell you, if you want to pick points, the best time for you to pick points is in the early part of the season before the wheeling and dealing begins. So I'm actually not surprised that Aqua United were beaten at home. Aqua United were beaten at home. I am not surprised to see that result. Not in any way am I surprised. I'm not also surprised to see Eimba going to go and pick up. I'm not surprised. I mean, Aqua were beaten by Insurance. Eimba defeated Nasarawa United in Jos, mind you, because the Lafia Stadium was not actually approved for NPFL games. So I am not overtly surprised. It's not now that we begin to see some of the things we complain about the NPFL. It's not now. The time we'll be to see some of these things is when we get to the business end of the season. I've always said it. At the start of the NPFL, you expect such results. These results are so normal. At the start of the NPFL, you see a lot of twists and turns. All eyes will be there. But it appears like as the season progresses, people become tired, people become weary, and then all manner of things begin to go on. But this is a very, very fantastic start. But a fantastic start that is not too different from previous starts that we have been having, because we have been having this kind of start before from even the former league body. It's a norm. It's a normal thing that when the league in Nigeria is starting, it starts with a bang. But do we sustain the momentum? No, we don't. I think that is what this is all about. It's all about sustaining the momentum. Sustaining this momentum over 8 matches in the season. We'll wait to see. Can we sustain this momentum of will it be business as usual when we get to the next end? I mean, part of the season where you begin to know those are relegation bound and those that really are continental. Around that time, you begin to see all manners of shenanigans, you begin to see all manner of atrocities, referees getting attacked when teams lose, intimidation and all that. I've been covering this league for over 12 years now. At least since 2009, and so if you put that from 2009 to date, you want to understand that when I say something about this very league, and of course I know what I'm saying. Around this time, no much joy. There was a particular season where we had 4 away wins one weekend. I think it was match day 7 or 4 straight away wins. We're like, oh, we finally had this match. I'll tell you this, Ken. I'll be very keen to see how the season will end, because this start is the normal start that I'm used to.
Okay, you talk about the business end, and then probably there won't be week 19, 20 to 39 to 38 this time around. There will just be week 1 to week 18. Probably that business end, maybe the first half of the league will have. That is when the league will have ended. Do you see the stance of the IMC saying, look, it's not going to be business as usual, or what you were saying before is not going to be there, and also they will try as much as possible to have the league on television. Is there going to be a positive impact when these matches are shown, whether they are shown live or recorded to be shown at later at delayed times?
You can't take away the issue of TV and how TV can bring about improved officiating, improved conduct of officials, improved how will I put it now, improve artistry and all of that. You can't take it away with the TV. You are guaranteed to have those parameters, all of those requirements. But the thing is, putting the Nigerian league on TV, the NPFL on TV, it's no main feat. Putting the NPFL on TV is no main feat at all. I work the NPFL TV. The year it was launched, they couldn't sustain momentum. I mean, you just need the fact that we're having 2 zones. We have 2 zones, the zone A and the zone B.
Zone B, yeah.
So one have to, yeah, the average league that we're playing. I think the last time I walked to the NPFL TV, I think we have only 3 functional OB vans in Nigeria that is reserved for sport coverage. We have 3 or 4, and every time you fuel, when you have to fuel company logistics, you do that. So that time, we could only do games that are very close. We're doing double headers. I mean, you do a game by 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. teams to leave their home ground. We are the league to be on TV. I mean, that's the extent which the LMC went just to put the matches on TV. Putting the NPFL on TV is a tall ask. It's a big ask, I won't lie. It's a very tall ask. It's a big ask. But if the league comes back on TV, maybe from week 1 to 18, that was how I got the 8-match game. If we get those from both group, we have to get a functional, for instance, to cover the functional OB van to cover games that will have a huge impact on places, on the title, the content. While we able to get those games on TV, one or 2 hitches to ensure that you're on TV. Prepare to see a lot of that.
You talk about having functional OB vans and other things. Is there any way where instead of if we can't show them live, that like you said, the LMC team, then the LMC TV, send you guys to different venues, and then so that the matches can be recorded? I know there are regulations there that you must allow the away team to record. A lot of controversies then when I think one of those teams they wanted to stream their matches live and say, no, you don't have the right, but to record it, that you have a right to record your matches, and then so that it can be replayed. Is there any way, probably, that if you can't show them live, then maybe we can later on, at least, even if you're not showing to the persons, each of the clubs can have video recordings of the matches that they played? Will that in any way, ameliorate these things that your challenges are talking about?
Unfortunately, the club owners, unfortunately, you are not a club who is desiring to see a better NPFL. I'll tell you this. One of the most funny things about the NPFL, something I will never ever understand, is why teams don't want to beat. I've not seen it. They say, why are you not showing our rival games? Sometimes they're waiting when they want to stream their games, no from our game. Sometimes the home team will say, no cameras, no this, no that, the only camera. You know, waiting. They can always discuss that are in it. They can only edit, erase, and all that. Live game is just the way to go. We have teams who are able to stream their game live. For instance, Bender Insurance will be streaming their game against live. Although there was TV coverage to that, but I mean the commentary is something that I prefer not to start. There was live in that as well. A team like Remo Stars can actually stream their game live. If Van Dresden make it to NPFL, they can stream their game live. And go to them, even if guests go, they're not allowed you to show them. And when somebody says that, they begin to wonder, what are you trying to hide? I think the only Nigerian team that knows very, very TV friendly. You take Enugu Rangers, they are very, very TV friendly, they are very, very accommodating. You take Eimba FC of Aba, Eimba are very, very accommodative. And then you take some of the northern teams, for instance. Some of the northern teams are very, very educative. I remember we went to cover a County Pillars game here in Kaduna. We went to cover a County Pillars game when they were in Kaduna because of the COVID-19 that made their stadium to be closed. We went to cover that game and they were saying, this is the fourth game that we are covering, fourth game that we shouldn't go in. And all that, you know, it happened to the cameras were told no, that you guys can't come in and all that, you know. It's just I will never understand this. We watch the English Premier League daily on TV, we watch the Bundesliga daily on TV, we watch the La Liga on TV. I mean, and this TV thing is not a straightforward thing. For instance, Al Ahly TV stream their game from wherever they are playing. Esperance TV stream them from wherever they are playing. So if we can have these games on TV, the games that come from TV, showing your game live on TV cannot be underestimated. But our teams, they are not ready. You are the ones ready. I am the one ready. Those pilots of our various teams, I think they know something that you and I don't know, and they are not ready yet.
Okay. I think I will spend much time on this. Does it affect the revenue of course, right now I know that I don't know the arrangements that they have with the station that is showing the match live. But we want to go on a very short break, Mohammed. When we come back, we shall look at these various options that you have just elucidated here and see how we can look at it if they will be the right way to go in trying to reposition the league for the Nigerian football fans. You're welcome back. It is a Channel Sport on Sunday. And then we've been talking Nigerian football, and that's what we're going to talk today. And when we do open the lines too, that's exactly what we expect you guys to do. Not the problem this time around. We can talk about what all the problems is all about. Sometimes when we come on this show, talk about solution-oriented. What do we do, to allay, or do we to allay the fears of those who say we want to come to the sun to come and watch football? What entertainment values are they going to get? Well, these are the things we want to say. What do we do positively that can impact on the league, that will make the league to grow, that will increase the fan base, that will kind of increase our love for the game, for our own game. We're talking the EPL, we're talking to the managers, we're talking to a lot of them, what they are doing on. But when it comes to us, Maurice was talking about secrecy. Somebody was complaining the other day also that for you to get information from each of the clubs, it is as if you want to break into the vault of the central bank. It is guarded. This guy's not our own. Don't give it information. How can you complain that your league is on television, that if somebody wants to show your match here, why must you come 4 times to come and cover my games? When others, the more games you cover, the more money you receive. Probably that's the angle we are going to look at. Jimmy is in the house. Jimmy, you show my match on television, or you cover my match, and I don't get any revenue. Why would I want you to do that?
Well, we know the problems, like you said, so it'll be fine to start talking about the solutions. We know from when they talked about the NPFL app, there were outrageous sums being mentioned. I think it was 18 billion and all that. But from experience, you also know that It's not easy, never easy getting people to download apps.
Yes.
So I think those were some of the things that actually affected the psyche of the managers of the clubs. And definitely, like you rightly said, football is big business. And when you're talking about revenue and you are having to show the matches, I love the fact that Moise actually talked about Van Dresser being able to show games, and it's something that the likes of Remo Stars can actually do. So I don't think it will be fair on the clubs to show the games and they're not able to gain revenue. But there must be a starting point. There must be a starting point where we begin to realize that the ideal is different from the realistic. So let's get our games on TV first before we start talking about revenue. Fairness may be something that you want to put where all the factors are actually, favorable. But for now, I think clubs can't be talking about revenue when we are talking about getting people into the stadia, one. Secondly, getting people attracted back to watching games either on TV or going back to the stadium. It's crucial at this point in time. So we will not talk about the ones that will set us back. Let's talk about the ones that are positive.
I think I agree with what they are saying, because right now, like we are saying, it is building.
It's building.
How do we build the league? How do we, in fact, when you say building, how do we rebuild the league? Because we're not just starting afresh. There was a time that you go to watch these games. If we can fill the stadia, the various stadia in the 80s and the 90s.
Ken, I know if you want to say, you say maybe the late 70s were the golden period.
Nostalgia shouldn't
but
be,
me, I will tell you, it's late 80s.
Yes, but because even then the stadia has still been
fantastically so, because as at that time you had the likes of Leventis United, Abiola Babes, BCC, name it, they were there. You had clubs that had a lot of, fans. Stationary stores was not even playing at the highest level, but the fan base was massive. Right now, you cannot talk about any club that has got the kind of fan base that the likes of Abiola Babes, Leventis used to have, not even 3SC. So the question really is, what exactly are we building towards? If we are building to say we want our football to be professional, we need to have a model that ensures in the next 3 seasons, we are back to where we used to be in the late 80s, at least.
Okay, let's go to Kaduna. Moise is there. Hello, Moise. How will this gain back to the?
I can hear you.
Yeah, getting back to the calendar, probably at the end of this abridged season, maybe the clubs can plan, those who are managing the league can plan. Maybe we can have the time to put in place a board that is elected by the clubs themselves. And so, okay, we are running our league. What do we do in this interim, this season? What are the areas we should focus on in order to lay that solid foundation to take off when the full league can start from the 2023-2024 season?
Ken, I first of all want to say a big welcome to Jimmy. And I totally subscribe to everything that he just said. But when you're talking about fan base, I don't think there's any Nigerian team that can actually come close to Kano Pillars. But they are not in the NPFL. I think their fan base is untouchable, and they are not doing anything to use that fan base anything marketing purpose. They are not using the fan base, but they're using it for other things that I dare not say on air. But moving ahead to some of the things, the task before the IMC, the Interim Management Committee, there are several steps they have taken. I think about the NPFL and the Nigerian Football Premier League, like they call it now. The biggest problem is implementation. Implementation is the biggest problem. The rules is just the biggest issue that they are facing. So it would be better if the IMC channel all their energy towards implementing and enforcing some of this laid down regulation. It's something that the LMC couldn't do. That's where the LMC actually failed, in my own opinion. They couldn't enforce some of this laid down regulation. If you check the framework of the NPFL, the framework of the NPFL can be compared to anyone you want to have in the world. So what the IMC should do is set a standard for playing according to the rule book. If you set that standard, of course, I actually believe that those that are in the IMC will still want to remain, even when it turns to a league board. It's a normal Nigerian team. Nobody will want to test one and then spit it out. I sincerely believe that if we have the IMC and the IMC are able to enforce some of these things, I use the word enforce because the regulation are already laid down. If they can follow every single detail to the letter as contained in the framework of the NPFL, as drafted by the LMC and as approved by the clubs themselves, I'll tell you the Nigerian league will be better off for it. So that is where they need to channel all their energy towards. All this bickering back and forth about these, our sponsorship will bring this. Forget about all of those. The problem of the Nigerian Premier League is not about this. The problem of the Nigerian Premier League is follow the rule book as stated and then play according to the book. If you do that, Ken, you'll be handling the league in a healthier state than it has ever been to those who will come in and then run the league in permanent capacity. Because what we have right now is the interim management committee. And it's even alarming. How can a committee run a league for you? Only in Nigeria.
Abaloka saying if we have to build that foundation, like that, which is what you have just pointed out, he is talking about the will, that the rules are there. It is not as if the rules are not there. It is the will to enforce those rules that are the problem.
And as far as we still have government running football, you continue to have that because of political influence, because of the fact that political will to actually enforce is always going to be missing. You have government running football. You have government running
Do the governors
clubs.
actually, look at the day-to-day running, or those who are running on behalf of the governor say, look, because I want to achieve results so that my governor can now see that his investment is paying out. I don't think governors will sit down and instruct people to say, okay, go and compromise in order to get results.
And Ken, that is why I find it funny when we say we are categorizing sport as a business. Under normal circumstances, sport is absolutely a business, but we know that the reality is purely recreational in these parts. So let's get back to talking about sport as a business to say the governors, as the owners of these clubs, need to start asking the right questions. We should not be leaving it to club administrators to say they determine what happens, because they have never really focused on football and other sports as a means of bringing in revenue to the states.
These clubs are not the personal fiefdom of the governors. These clubs, the governors are running this. They are running the club on behalf of the state, which means everybody, all individuals of that state are owners of the club. Definitely. Isn't it?
Definitely.
If Rivers United is owned by Rivers State, it is the Rivers support and not the governor. If Shooting Stars is owned by Oyo State, it is the people of Oyo State and not the governor of Oyo State that owns it.
And the question,
where the people don't say, okay, because the government is spending money on our behalf, we also have no stake, no say on how our club is run.
And the question is, are we talking about a top to bottom approach or a bottom to top approach now? Because the people really cannot ask questions from the governors how they decide, who they decide should be in charge. So
there are some, okay, let us say, because these are things I'm always Jimmy are talking about now. Let us look at the unveiling that is going on for Bendel Insurance. They started by winning that away, and they're also saying we are trying to lay a solid structure for the team. Let's see what is happening. What happened in Benin? That is the deputy governor. Definitely,
and that's a bank showing commitments.
Yes.
They've been there. They have restated our commitment. They are saying here again, we will be supporting this club because they have shown. Shown, apart from being a traditional club, they have also shown that they are a club that can stand the test of time, especially with their performance in the Super 4. And also with the government really showcasing the fact that sports right now, Edo Queens, they're not doing badly, and they are making sure they are supporting Edo Queens and Bendel Insurance.
Can they pay them the same? Can they pay them the same salary?
It is possible, but it will not happen. It is possible, but it will not happen. But if you follow through from what the governor has been saying, they seem to have this idea of what we are talking about here, that they can actually hand over. They seem to. If they actually can.
We dare them, because the governor and the deputy governor, especially the deputy governor,
the deputy governor is a football person. Through and through.
Can he? We are asking you here, Deputy Governor Shaibu, can you and your team, maybe in the next 1 or 2 years, hand over Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens to the people of Edo State and the government hands off? Can you put the structure in place? Can you even build them a stadium and say, look, you have this, but you are on your own. Go and raise funds. Go and do this. We are starting you up with 1 billion. Let us take our first call. I think we have Ibro on the line from Benin. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Ken.
Hello, Ibrahim. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to Jimmy and my friend Maurice from Kaduna. Yes, I've been listening to you guys. And let me start from what you're saying about whether the Edo State government can hand over Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens to the people of Edo State. Yes, that is the ultimate plan. I was actually at the unveiling of the jerseys for Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens. I was actually the MC of that occasion.
Okay.
And the deputy governor actually mentioned it. You spoke about building a stadium for Bendel Insurance. When the governor received the team, you know, we are now the champions of the Nigerian National League. When he received them, he promised them that he was going to build a stadium for Bendel Insurance. So it is not just going to be the Samuel Obomedia Stadium. There's going to be a stadium purpose-built for Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens. He also said that they were going to get them a brand new bus for both Bendel Insurance and the supporters of Bendel Insurance. And the deputy governor mentioned at that event that you just showed clips of, that there is a plan in motion. And if you saw what happened there, you see that corporate Nigeria is getting massively involved in Bendel Insurance. Bendel Insurance has a shared sponsor. It is not easy. It's not every club in Nigeria that has a shared sponsor, even the Nigerian Professional Football League side. But not only does Bendel Insurance have a shared sponsor, Edo Queens now has a shared sponsor. So that is the direction that the Edo State government is taking Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens. But you know that this thing takes time. And the government will not be there forever. The deputy governor mentioned at that event that, right now, we Migratians are looking up for Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens because we have a government that loves sports. So what happens next couple of years? In 2 years' time, they will be out of that place. What happens if you now have a government that does not love sports? Is it that Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens will collapse? So what they are doing is to get the private sector involved, and very soon, the government will hands off, and they will just be stakeholders in Bendel Insurance. In fact, he mentioned that the buses that Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens are using currently, that the government did not spend a dime of government money to purchase those buses, that it was the sale of these jerseys that you are showing on the screen right now that they used from last season. It was the fund they generated from the sale of the jerseys that they used to procure those buses. So with time, it will happen that the Edo State government will hands off Bendel Insurance, not hands off completely. They will still have stake in it because it's a business venture. So it's supposed to be bringing money back to the government.
This sounds like sweet music to my ears, and for those who are listening, Edo Queens and then Bendel Insurance, Ibrahim. But the thing is this, like you said, this government have about 3 more years to go. And then there might be a time where, there is a Pharaoh that doesn't know Joseph. And then when that time comes, what are we saying? In the next 3 years, what is the foundation? Did they put, you see, the thing is, we are going to do this. I don't know, I'm sorry that maybe they are politicians, whether you like it or not, they are all politicians. And when we talk sport, we don't talk politics. But we are saying, in the next 3 years, are you going to lay the foundation? Can you finish building a stadium? Yes, a stadium can be built in 3 years. We will say before we hand over, we are building a stadium where we are going to hand over to both Insurance and Edo Queen to be using as their stadium. We are seeing Inter Milan and AC Milan using the same stadium. We are seeing big teams using the same stadium. Give them, this is their property. They can pay back to the state, or that is equity for which they are going to start off. What is intangible term on short term, long term, giving a time frame. You understand that this is what, is there something, a plan, or just a wish that's okay, we are going to do this? I know the challenges are there, but then have they drawn the plan to say, in the next 2-3 years, we should be able to have finished the stadium at least, have a house, Bendel Insurance House, where, that are secretariat where people can stay, maybe a hotel, where so this is where they are staying, and stuff like that. What are the concrete plans, and what are the time frames to achieve these objectives? Ibrahim.
A spokesperson for the Edo State government, but I will tell you that things are already in motion. There are things that we can see happening right here in Edo State that gladdens our heart. When you look at and you know that government is a continuum. So every government will want to come and try and improve on what the previous government did. The Samuel Ogbomudia Stadium was not built by this current administration. It was built a long time ago, but successive governments have been using it for sporting activities and also for other activities. However, and Ken, you followed Nigerian football for a long time. You knew when Bendel Insurance had issues that they even said the Ogbe Stadium wasn't good enough to be hosting Premier League matches. You know what happened when Bendel Insurance were relegated way back in 2008, and the team had to play in Ilorin because they said the Ogbe Stadium wasn't good enough. But today, the Samuel Ogbomudia Stadium is one of the best in the country. Even the Super Eagles, the mighty Super Eagles of Nigeria, have played at the Samuel Ogbomudia Stadium. Our female national teams have come to the Samuel Ogbomudia Stadium to play. So the government has demonstrated that even though it is not something that they built, but they are putting it in a very good shape. So I honestly do not know the government that will come after this, seeing the success that this current administration has achieved using sport as the driving force. And then they will come in and decide to jettison sport or decide not to support Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens. I don't think that will happen. I think we will actually have that. I'm talking about things already in motion. Edo Queens, they now have a fantastic clubhouse, which was built for them by the current Edo State government. So when they tell us that we have plans to build a stadium for Bendel Insurance, you've got to believe them. You and I know that these things take time. Even if you are bidding to host the World Cup and the African Cup of Nations, even if you do not have some stadium, you can prove to CAF and FIFA that give me this number of years, I'm going to build these venues. So they may not be able to, I seriously doubt, because they have just 2 years to go, I doubt if they will be able to finish the building of the Bendel Insurance Stadium. But even if it's just the foundation that they are able to lay, I am sure the next government, seeing how successful this current administration has used sports to drive their development agenda, I am sure they will want to key into that and also continue building that stadium for Bendel Insurance. The one that I know is very easy to achieve is the buses that he promised that we are going to give you brand new buses for you and your supporters. And the same thing, they talked about every year Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens will be unveiling their jerseys. And they've been able to do that. This is, I think, the third one I've written, but the second consecutive one. Last season, they did the same thing, and they are not just resting on that to say, okay, we unveiled brand new jerseys last season. The players can continue using the jerseys. They have done another one this season, and I believe that next season we are going to have another one coming through. And Jimmy was asking about, I think you and Jimmy were having that conversation about whether there is pay parity between Bendel Insurance and everything. Yes. Actually is. Bendel Insurance, it's not that they are whether they will be able, they are actually doing it. Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens are on pay parity. That is what the lowest earning player in Bendel Insurance ends is what the lowest earning player in Edo Queens ends. In fact, the deputy governor always boasts with it that, look, what even the great United States of America,
the controversy.
Even with the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, had a running battle with Niger Rapina on this issue of pay parity and all of that. So Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens are already doing that. So the Edo State government, to a large extent, have been able to achieve that. And you and I know that over the years, we've had situations where players go to government house to protest that they have not been paid. Players have carried mattresses to sleep in front of government house in different states that they have not received salaries. But over here in Benin City, in Edo State, that has not happened since the last couple of years, because every time that the governor, the deputy governor, and other civil servants are earning their salaries, then the insurance and Edo Queens also earn their salaries. So there is a physical plan. There is a plan that we have seen. When the government first came into power, I believe it was in 2015, because I participated in that workshop.
Ibrahim,
yeah.
Okay, just hold on, because we want to go on a short break. I thought we'll just cut the conversation yet, but I will keep you on when we come back on the break. We'll just round it up from there. Stay with us. We are on just very, very short break. We'll be right back. All right, you're welcome back. Ibrahim is right there in Benin, and then he's been, I don't know, the stories I'm hearing from Benin City as sounding sweet. I hope those stories should be built on it. Maybe in the immediate future here, probably in the next 2 weeks, we should be able to get somebody, maybe the deputy governor of Edo State, and then let us have the concrete plans, and elucidate it before Nigerians. And Nigerians will say, this is what we are doing. Ibro is talking, but he's saying, look, I am not in there. This, from what I'm hearing, is what I'm saying. But the people, the dramatic personnel, those who are, they're directly involved with the running of the club, or the clubs in Edo State, should be able to, let Nigerians know how far they're doing. Hello, Ibrahim, are you still there? Hello.
I'm with you, Ken.
All right. Okay. Can we? Let's round up with you now. You were saying that there is pay parity between Edo Queens and Bendel Insurance. Hello, Ibrahim.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, and it's something that the government, especially the deputy governor, is very proud of, because of all the issues that we've had all around the world about pay parity between the male and the women's team, even the national team. So for Bendel Insurance and Edo Queens, that has been achieved. And how we explain it is that the salary that the lowest earning player in Edo Queens is getting, that's the same thing that the lowest earning player of Bendel Insurance is getting. So they don't discriminate just because of your sex. You are given what you are worth. And we know that even in club football, in all the top clubs in the world, every person is not on the same salary. So you are paid according to what they feel your position deserves. But the difference here is that they do not discriminate just because someone is a woman. So if they say, for instance, I do not know, I don't have this exact figure, but I'm just saying, if they say, for instance, the lowest earning player in Bendel Insurance, the benchmark that they will not go below is 150,000. It is the same thing that applies to Edo Queens. So that is how they explained it.
All right. I think you are. I don't want to say that you've given us very valuable contribution on the show today. Thank you very much, Saleh Ibrahim. We call him Ibro. I would have loved to discuss some other things with you, but then you are making your debut, and when next you're on this show, you are going to join us from the beginning to the end. Thank you, Saleh. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm really disappointed that the connectivity didn't work out well. I would have loved to join on Zoom, but hopefully next time the connection will be better.
Yes, I will take you live on Zoom. All right, thank you, Saleh. Thank you very much. He's a sports journalist, and then you can say he said I was the MC at the unveiling, so you can't demand that all the information that he was the MC, the person that gives information to everybody who wants to come in.
Definitely.
So that he is with them.
Definitely.
Okay, Ope has just joined us. We're talking the league.
Yeah, better lead than never. Just hope this will be the last time we have this kind of stop-start issue with the league, because it's now almost synonymous with the league. So let's just hope once and for all this will be the last time we have this kind of discordant tone with the league.
Okay. All right. Let's go straight to Italy. We're not going to Italy per se. We're going to talk Italian league. Mohamed, Moise, I know you are there. You've been following the Italian league and then the exploits of what our own Victor Osimhen is doing right there. Can you give us up to date? Because as we speak now, it's like that man is the top goal scorer in Italy.
It has never been in doubt that Osimhen is hugely talented. I think it was 2015 was the first time I actually saw the young man at the Nigerian Under-17 camp in Abuja. I think he was dropped that very day. It was the goalkeeper trainer Emeka Amadi who saw when he scored the goal. Amunike wasn't watching. It was Emeka Amadi who called Amunike that let that guy come back and try it. And that was how Osimhen became the highest goal scorer for the Nigerian Under-17 team. It has never been in doubt. The biggest complaint coming into the weekend game against Juventus was that he has never scored against any of the traditional teams in Italy. AC Milan, Juventus, and Inter Milan. But he has broken that jinx now. And the moment you start scoring, then you expect you not to stop scoring. He has it in him. He has added headed goals to his game. That was not in his game before. According to Coach Luciano Spalletti, he can now run the lines brilliantly. And that's actually a very very big advantage to have, because Napoli will definitely create chances with Cavrichella and Matteo Politano. So he just have to make those runs, ensure that those runs are actually properly timed, and then the ball will definitely get to him. He's on fire, but he's not the only Nigerian player that's on fire in the Serie A. Serie Desta scored his very first goal for Cremonese over yesterday precisely. You have Ademola Lookman, who is on 7 goals in the Serie A. Then you actually have David Okereke, who is not doing badly. David Okereke is not doing badly from Cremonese. And even Tyrone Eboué, as a defender, is actually not doing bad for Venezia. His biggest problem is, can he actually stay fit? He hasn't been the same since that ligament injury sustained in 2014. He hasn't been the same, and we know it's normally the problem with people when they suffer ligament injury. It takes a while for them to get back to their level. But for Osimhen, this is the Osimhen that we've all wanted to see. And Ken, I dare say this: when I watch Victor Osimhen plays, it provoked memory of what Isaac's success would have been. Isaac's success in the same Serie A, but with the same excitement that I saw Isaac's success at the Under-17 camp in Calabar, that was the same excitement that I had the day I saw Victor Osimhen in Abuja. But unfortunately, he's in Italy as well. He's not doing badly. He has had a very successful career, but you can't equate his career rise to that of Victor Osimhen. Osimhen is literally on fire. And I've been saying this. Osimhen is by far the hottest Nigerian player and the odds-on favorite to be named the African Footballer of the Year.
Don't show the family up. They're enjoying you on the show there. It's a live show. Mommy is a live show. Let them enjoy themselves. I know. Let them enjoy themselves. They're with Daddy. Daddy is right there. So they are giving it all to us here. That is what we do here. We don't fake it. We give it as it is. That is what it is all about. I think the lines, we are opening the lines also now. But before we do, as we're opening the lines, let us also take the list of the top scorers in the Serie A. And then he mentioned Ademola Lookman, and you will see where Ademola Lookman is, because sitting right there at top up there is our own Victor Osimhen. It's not about that goal, that headed goal. It was the fourth goal, exactly. And then he came in there, and then he went up there and wham, he placed it. I think I captured all the the moments of that particular goal, and I did tweet about it. So let's see if we can if it is ready. While we're on it, but the lines are open. The number will be right there on the screen for those of you who want to join. Let us take some few calls.
11 months ago, Spalletti actually sort of likened Osimhen to Maradona. He didn't say he's as good as Maradona. He said he has outstanding qualities that when he sees Maradona, the way he brings his team, the way he plays for the team, the aggressiveness, the resourcefulness, that this is somebody that can actually do stuff for Napoli. And I mean, after 3 years, this may just be the title.
Is it title coming home to Naples?
I think they have a better chance, but if you look at Napoli,
better than right now.
Always something will just happen and they will mess up themselves, because and that's how they've been having a series of coaches from Benitez, Serie, all the top coaches.
Yeah.
Again, they just wobble and fumble at finishing line. But I think the missing puzzle there, they have an Osimhen this time, which all things being equal, and I think it's even a compliment when they don't do well. The blame tends to go to Osimhen by the Italian pundits. So that means is someone they is highly rated by the pundits, so they expect more from him, and so far he has not disappointed. And one thing from his game again, the normal gesticulation whereby they misses a chance, he holds his head. If he had done that, he would not have gotten that first goal, because it was like a reflex action.
Yes,
went for that rebound, and that was it. So,
and as we know, we know he's hugely talented. It's just about him keeping his head, being disciplined. If he stays disciplined, if he keeps his head better screwed to the neck, I tell you, Osimhen will go places because of what he's been able to do so far. In 2015, he was CAF Youth Player of the Year. We are talking about him 8 years, and he's on fire. And virtually everybody the world over is talking about him living the...
His stock is rising.
His stock is rising by the day. So what else is there to say about him?
Let me ask you. He talked about being the youth player of the year, and is going up there. Probably apart from the party. Vicente Abubakar, because of his exploit at the World Cup. I don't know how many African players at right there now that there's the sign should be on them. Looking at the African Football of the Year, is Victor right up there?
Yeah, we have 20 entries and we had the Nations Cup this year. Of course, you have to look at it.
And he did not attend.
He did not attend. Okay, that is the AFCON. So there was the AFCON, there is the World Cup.
Exactly.
So World Cup qualifier as well.
Okay.
So you look at what these likes of
Vincent Abubakar done. Yeah.
What they did, the Senegalese,
Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
And he's doing with Bayern.
Qualifier for the World Cup.
Definitely.
And before he left Liverpool, they played for finals. Up to this year, again, you look at his Bayern before his injury. So I think he's
but with the injury not, because if he's out for a long time with the
injury was prior to the World Cup.
Exactly.
Before then, you are talking about 11 months. So he played in almost 4 competitions up to the last very end. So I think he's the clear favorite.
Okay, let's go to Bonny Island. Fabian, how are you? Hello, Fabian.
Happy Sunday to you.
Happy Sunday, Fabian. Happy Sunday.
Hello?
Yeah, go on, Fabian. Go on.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk about Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen has been a very great striker, for Napoli. And I just wish he translates that form to Nigeria this year while we prepare for the AFCON qualifiers. But at the same time, try to stay in Italy for 1 more year before moving abroad, because there are concerns and rumors that he might be going to Manchester United or Real Madrid. But I don't think it's yet time for him to do that move, because I feel recovering from that nasty injury he had earlier this step up. He needs to be cool and be calm for him to make that move in the next 1 or 2 years, because he's still young.
Okay.
I'm coming from an Arsenal point of view. I just wish Arsenal wins the North London derby. Arsenal fan. I just wish we get.
Are you an Arsenal fan? Fabian, are you an Arsenal fan?
Yes, I'm an Arsenal fan. Massive one.
Okay. It's all right. Let's see. It's been 2004 since you guys won the league, and then if you are able to beat Tottenham today, I think that should be a cushion that to put in there, and part of you will turn Tottenham from contender to, how do I say it, to
not even pretender again.
Oh my God, we're out of time. How? Okay, well, let's take the time.
So the North London derby, you are talking about 2 teams who are without pedigree in Europe and trying to dominate.
I don't understand. How do you mean? How would you say Arsenal is without pedigree? Why is Arsenal the most talked about club right now?
Champions final just won. Both they played 1 final in the Champions League and they won the Winners' Cup. So
Newcastle has got pedigree.
Not
blooded out trophy. I think there should be a trophy for
Newcastle has got. All right.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, Jimmy. It's Channel Sport on Sunday. And then we just starting off. I'm Ken Ochonogo, and I drop the green pen. Have a blessed Sunday.